Welcome back to my channel, Strawberries! Today's reading I am so excited for. I'm going to be doing two separate videos. This one is going to be pick a pile, how does your dad feel about you? And the next video I'm gonna film it today is going to be pick a pile, how does your mom feel about you? Because I would say how your parents feel about you, but let's be honest, like a lot of us, there's gonna be two different opinions. So let's get into it. I'm so excited, literally so excited. I'm only gonna do two piles because I am intending for these readings to be pretty in-depth, pretty long. So pile one is going to be this rose quartz mountain. Pile two is going to be this geode. Okay, so pile one or pile two? If you chose pile one, then this is your reading. This is how your dad feels about you, how your dad perceives you. Let's see. Okay. The first, oh my God. Immediately the message that I'm getting is your dad feels like you've been able to accomplish something that they weren't able to accomplish. The first two cards are mystical cards, unicorn and dragon. So unicorn is immediately giving me, also look at the colors, like this is like mystical feminine energy. So your dad probably sees you as somebody that is very feminine, but with dragon reverse, dragon is a protector energy. And this reminds me of fairy energy. So usually a fairy will have a protector, like confirmation. A fairy will have a protector, and that protector will be a dragon. With these mystical colors, dragon is about the four elements. So I understand that in order to manifest my dream life, I need to tame water, air, earth, and fire. I need to make sure that I can incorporate all of those elements, like magician energy. So with unicorn being infinite possibilities and dragon coming out reversed, there's something here about you being able to protect yourself to create something that maybe your dad wasn't able to give to you. And with it being this mystical energy, it's something about femininity and it's something about believing in yourself. So maybe your dad is somebody that is closed-minded. You could have carried a lack mindset from your dad concerning your dreams or relationships, whatever it is. Like your dad maybe never made you feel as if you deserve to go after your dreams. Your dreams are possible. His energy was kind of like, well, it is, life is what it is, and you just gotta make the best out of what you have type vibe. Because even on the bottom is giraffe, visionary. Like this, he sees that specifically from a teenager, you have changed drastically. On the bottom of the deck right now is Dragonfly, and this is a card that talks about a 2-year transformation. So take that how it resonates for you. I don't know if you haven't talked to your dad in 2 years, or if you've changed a lot in the past 2 years and you just recently talked to him again. But with Fox reversed, you used to be codependent. This is literally a codependent energy. Whether you were codependent on him, you were codependent on something. So that could have manifested as some type of insecurity, with it being an orange card of, I need some type of emotional fulfillment. And that's usually what makes somebody codependent, is like, I constantly need to be emotionally fulfilled, even if that's false sense of vulnerability. So maybe you would settle for things that weren't really great, or you would settle for things in means of trying to get emotion. Maybe you could have even done that for your dad. Like you tried to stay in your dad's life and try to get validation from him, but it just wasn't something that he was able to give to you. Okay, let me keep going. That is crazy that the two first cards out were like mystical and feminine. Like that's crazy. So I definitely feel like I'm talking to a feminine. And then the divine feminine card comes out. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm not sure if you have some type of platform, but B is community. And with this being yellow, your dad sees that you are very, very confident in who you are, especially because the bee is on the flower and it's the same color as the flower. It's giving me the vibe that you are the flower. Like you carry the beauty of a flower. You shine. People think that you're beautiful. People think that you're delicate, and you are a powerful creator. You bless everything with what you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. That's literally how this is coming out. So like this person, your dad sees you as confident in your community. I'm getting so many messages. Usually I have to get the whole spread, but I'm already getting so many messages. This is insane. And then Cougar assertive. So I read my spreads. I do 4 cards. And then on the left side is how the person is feeling, or like the feminine perspective. The right side is the masculine perspective, how they're taking action on that. So your dad can see that in order to create this confidence, in order to be able to have people perceive you as a flower, you had to choose to first believe in yourself and give yourself emotional fulfillment that you didn't get in believing that whatever you didn't think was possible, I believe that it's true. That's how you gave to yourself emotionally. And then that manifested in a physical way of confidence. People are seeing me, Cougar assertive, because I take action on making sure that I am shown. Like, it's the energy where I'm not afraid to put myself out there. I'm not afraid to go after what I want, because I am confident in the public eye. Regardless of how people perceive me, I'm confident in putting myself out there, being assertive within that energy. So like, that's what I'm saying, is your dad is seeing that you are able to take action with confidence in a way that he wasn't strong enough to. I wouldn't be surprised if something comes out here about the fact that you might quite literally be going down a life path that your dad like wish they could have gone as when they were a teenager or when they were young. So I'm not sure if you're traveling or if you're pursuing some type of career or some type of business that your dad maybe would want to have had when they were younger, and now you're doing it. So there is like a proud energy here, but oh my gosh, bro, this is fucking crazy. Okay, let me keep going. Also, I have to say that even further clarifying, Cougar assertive, this card has a sun on it, and that's a masculine energy, mirroring unicorn, the feminine energy. Like, you have found the balance of, I can relax, and through relaxation and receptivity of what my heart wants, I take action from that space. So my life is easy. You've created an easy life for yourself. And I think that's what is like unfamiliar to your dad, is the fact that life is easy when you open your heart. And if you're closed and emotionally avoidant and suppress your emotions, life is going to be pretty damn hard. So like, that's the kind of, I don't think they understand why you have the things you have, how you have the things you have, but they can understand that you chose to believe in yourself in a way that they didn't. Okay, let's keep going. This is the best reading. Are you actually serious? Are you actually serious? Okay, look at the colors again. Look at the colors again, the purple colors again. Clarifying, dragon, supernatural, which is this card of, I told you, is like you have to have all elements in order to manifest something in your life. Unicorn is being clarified by snow leopard, self-reliance. You are your own source of believing in yourself. I'm not sure if your dad watched you struggle through some type of situation or watched you go through something that was emotionally turbulent, but it feels like they saw you go through a situation that required faith. Like, physically, you had no faith, so you had to choose to say, I'm going to believe that I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to choose to adapt and create all of these 4 elements so I can manifest my way out of this negative situation. That's why this is being clarified by abundance, and this is like a physical card. So there is something here about, because you protected your idea of faith, you protected what you believed in and chose to say, I'm going to take action towards that, you manifested it. Like, I'm talking to empresses that have manifested the life that they want by choosing to show up for themselves and reparent themselves and give themselves what they didn't get from their past. And it's just an energy here of like, I don't understand how you did that. Like, I don't understand how you did that. But because this person, your dad, what it's mirroring to your dad is that he lacks faith. Your dad lacks believing in himself. Your dad lacks faith. And so if you lack faith, you can't manifest. Faith is like the core. You have to believe. If you want to manifest, you have to believe. So if they don't believe, they're going to look at you and it's going to be like, how did you do that? I don't understand how you did that. And it's because you had faith in yourself. Like, that's what I'm saying. And this is kind of a judgment call, I feel like, for your dad about the fact that like there may be some guilt, and I'm going to use my feelings deck, and I wouldn't be surprised if guilt comes out, but about the energy of you had to do it by yourself. Like, you had to be your own source of faith because I couldn't do that. It's like kind of a judgment call for your dad in that way of, you don't need me, and you obviously are doing better without me, or you have a better perspective than me. Your dad may be the kind of person that has like a bet, like right and wrong, good or bad. But so it's like if yours is better, like then it can't be like, oh, I'm living my life and I trust my perspective. It's either like mine is better or yours is better. Like you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm wrong and you're right. But your dad also could be something that doesn't really take accountability, which is why the level of faith that you have for yourself is like confusing, because they're like, how did you manifest that? How did you get that? I didn't teach you that. Like I definitely did not teach you that. And then clarifying B is Black Bear Guardian. Okay. See, your dad sees that you have been a mothering energy for a community. Take that how it resonates for you, whether that was friends, whether that was your own family, whether that was like your community, the people you work with. But that is the energy here where I am going to choose to show up and I'm going to be kind. I'm going to give to others. I'm going to nurture others. So your dad, again, sees you as somebody that's like very, very kind and loving, which may be something that they originally saw as a weakness, which again, why they're confused that you've manifested so much for yourself. Yeah, and then Polar Bear is clarifying Cougar Assertive. And this card literally says, know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. So with this clarifying Cougar Assertive, like your dad has watched you struggle. Like I'm seeing that. Your dad has watched you struggle. And you've chosen to not let that stop you. You've chosen to continue to fight and to continue to show up for yourself and to continue to go deeper. Orca Whale on the bottom of the deck concerning mirroring Hawk. Hawk is a messenger card, but Hawk is also can be a warning card. So it's kind of like your dad watched you, like something would come into your life and it would be a warning. It would be like, okay, like take cover. And then Orca Whales, they go down and then they hold their breath and then they come up back for air and then they go down again. So it's like the energy where your dad saw you, warning coming in, okay, I'm going to go down and I'm going to go deeper to protect myself from this and to see the deeper perspective from this so I can have faith, and then I'll come back up for air. And then when the next challenge comes in, I'll do the same thing and I'll go deeper. Like that's the emotional perspective that you're like teaching your dad, or that you're mirroring to your dad, is that you choose to transmute any pain that you have, any heartbreak that you have, you transmute it into something that is more beneficial for you by changing your perspective, by observing your pain. Like this is something that I'm not surprised that your dad like physically cannot understand this. Like they cannot understand this because your energy is so incredibly spiritual and your dad's energy feels like very much egoic, like very much like stuck in a family generational curse that you are literally breaking right now. Okay, let me keep going. This is so fucking good. What? Guilt on the bottom. Guilt on the bottom of the deck. What did I just say? I was like, I'm pretty sure that your dad probably feels guilty. Confirmation burp. I literally just burped. Oh, not your dad being jealous. Not your dad being jealous. What did I say at the beginning? There's literally an energy here, and I've said this before, that your dad, you've done something or you've accomplished something that at one point in your dad's life he wanted to do. So like I said, whether this is like you're traveling, you've made your own business, you're getting the job that you want, you have the friends that you want, you have a community, like something that your dad before like had a kid, got married, like maybe rushed into a settled down life from the space of ego, you are embracing freedom. That's how this feels. So your dad maybe got married really young, had you really young, or had kids really young, and it was a space where I am codependent on not being alone. So even if I'm avoidant, I'm going to get into a relationship because I don't want to be alone. I'm not confident enough to be alone. There's envy about the fact that you believed in yourself enough to break out of that cycle. You're mirroring to your dad some type of insecurity that they had that stopped them from following their dreams. And you are now literally giving that dream to yourself that your dad once wanted. That's crazy that envy is the first card out on the unicorn energy. That's crazy. And then Snow Leopard, self-reliance, imagination. What am I saying? Literally the self-reliance, like you are your own belief, our own source of imagination. This card says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. You learn to understand that I need to embrace myself creatively in order to believe that I want the life that I'm manifesting. Your dad like doesn't understand. Like he's looking at it, I can feel from a physical standpoint of you are like, I deserve this because I've worked so hard. And his energy is like, I'm not saying that you don't deserve it. I'm not saying that you do deserve it. All I'm saying is that how did you do that? I'm jealous. Like I want to do that. How did you do that? Okay, clarify this. Guilt coming out. Guilt coming out. Okay, loneliness reversed, love and death. Again, there's something here that your dad like he didn't support you through something. Like I said, he saw you struggling, and now that you've done it without him, it's mirroring to him that it's like, okay, maybe I do feel a little bit guilty about the fact that I didn't help. And this is on the bison abundance. So take it how it resonates for you, but it feels like in a time where abundance could have been a difficult time for you, whether this was like you were struggling with money, you're struggling with like housing, paying the bills, like something concerning your physical reality, that is on the guilt card. And the dragon card, which is a protector energy, is being clarified by happiness. So like this, it feels like he understands that you had to be your own protection. You had to be your own source of happiness in order to create some type of abundance to keep yourself safe and protected concerning your physical reality, which is why I think guilt is out here on abundance. So like, I really need you to take that how that resonates for you, but your dad watched you struggle in some way, and there is guilt here about not helping you now that they saw that you could do it independently. Because before it was kind of like a avoidant energy maybe of like, you can do it by yourself, like an envious energy, conditional love. Maybe you weren't showing up for your dad in some way, so because you didn't want a relationship with them, or you weren't giving them what they wanted, they were like, fuck you, I don't care if you're struggling, like you're not giving me what I want, so I'm not going to give you what you want. And now that they saw that you were able to be like, okay, you're not going to give me help, I'm going to give it to myself, and you created a life that they once had, or they once wanted, it's like, okay, I do feel a little bit guilty about that. Like, I feel a little bit guilty about not helping you now. Your actions are literally proving yourself so much. Like, the life that you've created, this is a huge energy. I hope that this really closes out a cycle for you, even seeing this reading, because you have completely changed the perception of how your dad once saw you, because you stopped seeking your dad's validation. You stopped staying in a victim mentality about the fact that your dad wasn't showing up for you. Like, you healed your father wound independently by yourself. So now he's getting reflected that karma, whether he chooses to grow from it or not, he is seeing it, and there's guilt in his body. Abundance, again, as I'm saying that, literally bison abundance, being clarified by guilt, abundance. Like, there's something here about money, about like, and this is a red card, so like your root chakra, like your dad feels like he didn't protect you, like he didn't make you feel safe, and that's something that he feels guilty about. I don't think he knows why. I don't think he's going to reflect on why he feels guilty, but he knows that he feels guilty. Oh my gosh, literally you have just been peace for everybody around you. Oh my god, bro. Your energy is coming out so feminine. Oh. Okay, whoever your dad was, they really did not show up for you. Oh my gosh. Your dad can definitely see that there were a lot of situations in your life where you, again, clarifying this divine feminine card with peace, you wore the peace for everybody else in your situation. In a negative situation that you were in, you carried the peace. You were like, I'm going to consistently create peace for myself so I can share that with others. With mothering, with this energy, black bear and worry reversed, regardless of the fact that I am feeling worried, regardless of the fact that I have a lot going on in my life right now, I am going to choose to mother myself anyway, so I can share that peace with others. Like, you may have had a coping mechanism where, because you didn't know how to protect yourself, you like emotionally overgave, but like there's a lot of here about a masculine and feminine energy. So that's where like I'm seeing a codependent vibe. Like, your dad may have seen like, oh, she gives way too much. Like, her life is not good because they give way too much to others. But now you being kind, you showing up for others and showing up for yourself has literally manifested you a life. So it's again creating like a contradicted energy for your dad, being like, okay, they gave a lot. They were like, oh, like they gave a lot, but they still created the life that I once wanted. With what? Polar bear, perseverance. Like, you did not stop. Cougar, assertive. That in this card says, in silence, you find your power. Claim your leadership role and take action. Service reversed. Nobody is showing up for me, so I'm going to show up for myself. And I'm not going to complain about that. I'm not going to whine about that. I'm going to say, okay, this is what I need to do, so I'm going to do it. Polar bear perseverance. I don't care. Nobody's showing up for me, so I'm going to show up for myself. Like, instead of getting into a codependent relationship, getting into having a family out of a space of lack, you said, I'm going to give it to myself so I can live my dream life, which is the opposite of what your dad did. So like, there's a huge, like, that's why envy was the first card out, because your dad is genuinely like, what the actual fuck? Like, how did you do that? Okay. Let me get into, hold on. I'm going to do one more deck, I think, until we get into pile two. See. Literally, okay, envy on and possible unicorns is being clarified by a beautiful little worm. Take care of yourself. This is number 8. And I always say 8s in tarot require discipline. 8 is in my opinion, the hardest number to work through, because it's like you have to discipline yourself to try to do something new. You have to choose a new version of yourself. You have to choose faith. You have to choose to go outside of your comfort zone consistently to create a new comfort zone. So like, this is on top of the envy energy. You know how to take care of yourself in a way that he doesn't, which is why it's mirroring that same energy, mirroring service reverse. Like, I don't know, I'm not receiving from anybody else, so I'm going to give to myself. But your dad maybe took the approach of, I'm not receiving from anybody else, so I'm going to settle for something that is a false sense of receiving. It's a false sense of vulnerability. It's a false sense of love. You did not take that route. You chose to take an independent route and say, no, I'm not going to settle out of fear. I'm going to choose to heal. Oh my gosh. Okay. I just cut it to a card that like literally made so much sense, but I want it to come out. And then imagination on, bro. What am I saying? Like, your dad watched you struggle. As you were struggling, your dad is doubting you. They're not doing it. They're just like believing. They're not actually going to get what they want. Bam, you actually manifested what you want. Your dad is completely contradicting any type of way that they doubted you, because they're like, well, I thought they were being codependent. I thought they were like believing in nothing. Like, I thought that them believing was not going to do anything for them. Bam, now you have a dream life that they once wanted, and their energy is like you completely proved them wrong. Like, that's the energy that's coming out. The Mermaid of Immersion, complete commitment, which is 44, another 8 card. That's why the 8s are coming out, is because your dad sees that you did something difficult. You did something that required discipline, that required faith. I'm going to put my energy towards healing myself every single day, and I am getting zero tangible evidence that that is going to bring me to my dream life. But I do have to have faith that energetically, because I'm healing, I will one day reap the benefits of the healing work that I'm doing right now. Imagination with Snow Leopard, I'm committing to this imaginative perspective independently with complete commitment. Like, I am committing no matter what. I don't care what you think. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I believing in faith. And so that's why your dad is like confused about the fact that you manifested this, because as you are manifesting it, you're healing yourself. You're choosing to have faith. You're maybe not taking physical action. Your dad feels like somebody that, if I want it, I have to take physical action towards it. Emotional action does not exist. I'm not going to process my emotions. I'm not going to look at my intention. I'm going to say, I want it. How do I need to suffer in order to get that? Your energy is, I don't want to suffer. I want to heal so I can create an easy life for myself, even if it's difficult at the beginning. But your dad is like, egoic, I want it right now. I'm going to suffer right now to get it right now. So that's why he didn't believe that your perspective would work, because it required emotions, and he is emotionally unavailable, which is probably something that you had been healing. And oh my God, shut the fuck up, bro. Dragon, the protector card, and this is on the guilt section of your dad feeling guilty. Elizabeth and the lion, the time has come to be a great leader. This is literally, especially because look, she has her own lion. She has her own protector. She has created her own source of protection by understanding what is it that I want, what are my standards, and making sure that I am not going to reach for or take anything that is not matching that. On top of happiness, it's like, I've protected my happiness. I've protected that I will only go towards something that makes me happy. Not only has that made you emotionally fulfilled, but it also has brought you literal abundance from, and this is on the left side, abundance from believing. That's why your dad is like so confused. Because you, oh my God, what am I saying, bro? On top of the guilt, I was saying your dad feels guilty about not protecting you in a physical way, like your root chakra, not making you feel safe with money, not making you feel safe with like helping you with physical things. And on top of that is a brother raccoon, a safe place for you to go. Number 4, the Emperor. It's literally a number 4 card, the Emperor card. They're feeling guilty about the fact that they were not a genuine masculine in your life. They did not show up for you. They did not make you feel safe. So you literally created that for yourself. Like, this is so intense. Holy shit. Clarify. And then on top of peace is a dragon garden. A new world is born. What card? What is this? Is number 9. That's what I'm saying. It's like you consistently chose to close out a cycle with peace. By choosing peace. Okay, I need to finish before I keep talking. Oh my God. Oh my God. You carried the same responsibility as your dad at one point in their life and handled it completely differently. So it's coming out here. Little brother, little sister, siblings, younger friends, responsibility. This is also number 4, and it's on top of you are unlike anyone else. This is clarifying the section about the fact that you, no matter how much anxiety you had, you chose to mother others, and you also chose to mother yourself through a nurturing perspective. Your dad carried at one point some responsibility that you were carrying. So if you were at one point like carrying all of the finances, like you were taking care of somebody, you were just the only one working and working and working. Your dad at one point in his life, in one relationship, whether that was with your mom or a friendship, he experienced that same energy. And he coped with it by continuing to suffer. You coped with it by saying, I'm going to heal from this and I'm going to recognize, why is my life so difficult? How can I take emotional action to heal through that so I can create an easier life for myself? That's why it's such a judgment call, is because there's something that your dad dealt with. You dealt with it in a completely different way, in a way that was more beneficial, more enjoyable, and brought you more manifestations. So it's like such an energy of, and then on the bottom is deep, dark sea mermaid. Find solutions in the unknown, places in the darkness. That's what I'm saying. Like, you went deep. You were like, I'm not going to believe that my life is so hard. I am not going to choose to believe that my life always needs to be this hard, which is the perspective that your dad had. Like, victim mentality, well, life sucks and it just kind of is the way it is. Your energy was like, it doesn't have to be this way. And I'm going to do the work to make sure and to prove myself that it doesn't have to be this way. And then cutting the deck is this card. It's the Delicate Fairy and her ferrets. It says, change is natural, good, and yes, it can hurt. You were like, I'm not afraid of pain. I am not afraid of going through the pain, in trusting that going through that pain, healing through that pain is going to give me the life that I deserve. Like, this is so, so intense. I'm so proud of you. Ah! Shut the fuck. On top of this card, nobody else is giving to me, so I'm going to choose to give to myself in silence. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to have a victim mentality. I'm going to say, there's issues in my life right now. No one's giving to me. Okay, then I'm going to give to myself, clarified with the Golden Phoenix. This is like rising from the ashes. And then something you thought was finished burst back into life. This is validating the perspective that I was just saying about the fact that something that like your dad once looked to you as like, they're stuck, they're only believing, they're taking emotional action, that's not going to take them anywhere. Bam, something you thought was finished burst back into life. Now all of a sudden they see that you have this amazing life. And it's like, whoa, I was really doubting this person, and I was not expecting to see that they created such an amazing life for themselves. Like, your dad is seeing your perseverance, which is why like there is an energy here of, I am validating like what you've went through, how independent you've been, but there is also an energy of, like I said, they're not somebody to take accountability. They're not somebody to like verbally be like, oh, I'm sorry, like I should have shown up for you. Like, it just feels like they are in an energy of like, I'm keeping this all within myself. I am observing the fact that I feel guilty. I'm observing the fact that I'm confused about how you manifested this life, but I'm never going to take accountability for that. I'm never actually going to speak up on that, but I'm like, whoa, like what? I'm genuinely shocked. Okay, and then there's one card flipped here. Artemis of the Forest coming out. You are now independent and free. This is the last section on perseverance with Polar Bear. Like, your dad sees now that you are completely free, independent, and you have 100% created a life for yourself that he literally once wanted. And on the finishing on the bottom of the deck, pose brave flight. You will not let fear stop you this time. Like, that's what I'm saying. You did not let fear of emotions, fear of not getting what you want, fear of your manifestation not happening stop you from choosing to take the action, emotional and physical, that you needed to take to get the life that you have right now. And there's a huge energy of your dad kind of recognizing like, I definitely underestimated you. I don't know why. I don't know how you did it, but I am seeing you clearly now. Okay, that was pile 1. Now let's get into pile 2. Let me clear my spread. Okay, if you chose this geode, nice and sparkly, this is your reading. Sorry, got that sage going. Send that your way. That first one was really intense. Holy shit, I'm so excited to do the second one. How does your dad feel about you? How does your dad perceive you? Pile 2. Let's see. Let's see here. Really hope this is validating for you. Okay. Whoa, yeah. I am immediately getting the vibe that you watching this, you might be in a healthy relationship. If you're not, this still could resonate for you. Like, take what resonates. If you're not in a relationship, then there is a really big energy here of your dad was somebody that would go that with like in a codependent relationship. Like when you look at this fox energy, the girl fox is cuddled up next to the guy fox, but the guy fox is like, yeah, I like that because I feel needed. I need someone to need me in order for me to feel confident. So they would go into a relationship of somebody that is like Queen of Cups reversed, where, and this could have been your mom, like take what resonates, but somebody that is easy to control, like kind of easily manipulated, someone that's just gonna like constantly feel insecure, so they're always gonna chase you and give you and be like, oh, please validate me, like that kind of energy. And because that was your dad's energy in the past, you adapted that same perspective as a child, right? So then you maybe manifested relationships, or you would go towards relationships where, because your dad made you feel that way because of his emotional unavailability, you would attract other men that would make you feel like, oh, I have to, please validate me, like please love me, please choose me, that kind of energy. But right now, that's what the sender cards are giving me right here, is that this is the energy that is recognizable to your dad, and the energy that your dad is in. But the energy that they can see that you are in is complete opposite. And I also have to say that in this animal oracle, fox is a sexual card, but it is a wounded sexual energy. It's like just like I said, it's coming from codependency. It's not coming from authentic confidence. The right next to fox is tiger, which is the other sexual card in this deck coming out right next to it, which is a mature sexual energy. See how they both have orange and white? But they're both mainly orange because they're both seeking emotional fulfillment, sacral chakra, from each other. This one is orange, one is white. Like, it's an energy of complete balance. So, and this is mirroring sea otter. You have chosen to create your own happiness, so then you don't choose to get into a relationship that is a repeat of your past concerning your insecurities, concerning your relationship with your dad. So that's what I'm saying, is like, there's something here about your dad knowing that you're changing the way that the kind of love that you want because of the kind of love that they gave you. Okay, whew, damn, independent on the bottom. That's what I'm saying. Like, your dad can see that you have worked a lot to become independent, to not overly give to somebody that is not giving back to you. Okay, what's that? You're not settling for physicality. Yes! You're coming out as the divine feminine, B coming out. I got this message in the last message too. Oh my god. Holy, wait. Holy shit. You literally, swan is on the bottom. You're either manifesting a genuine relationship or you're already in one, and your dad has seen that. But regardless, it's kind of this energy that whatever you are entertaining in your life, especially if you're not in a relationship, this specific part might be for you. You could be pursuing something in your life that your dad didn't pursue because of a codependent wound. I would rather be independent and travel the world, but because I'm not confident enough to do that, I'm going to settle for a codependent relationship because I need someone to need me. Regardless of how I treat them, I need them to constantly show up for me. Dog energy. Like, your dad wanted somebody that was like literally think about a dog. Like, a dog can just get beat and will still love their owner. No matter how bad they're being treated, they will still stay. Like, your dad wanted that kind of energy of like, I need constant validation, but there are things that my heart wants. I'm not going to choose that though. Your energy, sea otter being clarified by abundance, bison abundance. And this card literally says, sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom, keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the ways of gratitude and prayer. And this is mirroring Moose, which is a King of Cups energy underneath the mature sexual energy. So there's something here about you as a child got physicality replaced with vulnerability. Like, it was, you did not get emotional satisfaction. Your dad was maybe somebody that like they bought you groceries. They would maybe call you pretty, or like it was a physical energy, but there was no emotional connection behind that. Mirroring that is literally Elk Nobility reversed. This is King of Wands reversed. So this is somebody, just like I said, all of my confidence is relying on external validation. All of my confidence is relying on if this person right in front of me likes me, and if this person right in front of me likes me, then I feel confident, and if they don't, then I'm insecure and I need to seek confidence elsewhere. I need to seek validation elsewhere. That being clarified with B energy. So like, this is the energy where it's like, I'm asking to be seen. I need to be seen. Show me, see me, see me, see me. B energy is, think about a flower. A flower does not ask to be seen. A flower does not say, hey, look, I'm so beautiful. Look, I'm so pretty. A flower just sits and is beautiful. Like, beauty is. You have like embodied that energy by healing the wound that your dad gave you. So your dad is seeing an energy of, you are very confident, especially with this being yellow. You're very, very confident in knowing what you deserve emotionally, so much that you may be like taking distance from your dad or taking space from your dad. I need to get a little bit deeper to see like how they're exactly feeling about this, but they are clearly seeing that you're not settling for the way that they treated you. Whether they understand why it's wrong or not, or what they did wrong or not, they see that you are saying, okay, I don't want the treatment of how you gave me. I don't want that. But there is confusion. I'm going to be honest, like, your dad feels like, why? Like, I don't understand why. But you can only meet someone to the level you've met yourself, obviously. So the confusion is coming from the fact that your dad maybe just doesn't have the consciousness to see the difference between your guys' energy because his heart is closed. Okay, let me keep going here. Bro, what am I saying here? Clarifying sea otter happiness is literally self-esteem. And this literally card says, be the master of playful living. Release expectations and enjoy everyday life, mirroring the tiger energy. Like, if I can make sure that none of my confidence is coming from outside of me, I will live a happy and fulfilled life. And I need to be honest with myself about the fact that if I want to attract abundance in that same way, I have to be honest with, where is my confidence coming from? Is it coming from money? And if it is, how can I choose to prove to myself that I am worthy without money? Your dad can see that you've given to yourself what he didn't give to you, which is inflicting like because empathy is on the bottom of the deck, and like, your dad definitely does not seem like somebody that is empathetic, but he does seem like somebody that is now feeling like they did not give you as much empathy as you maybe wanted as a child. Whether they know how to give that to you now or not, which I'm kind of assuming that they don't, there's an energy of, I kind of wish I maybe would have been a little bit nicer. I would have been a little bit more kind, because your energy is very clearly showing that you are not what I want. You are not the example that I want in a relationship. So I need to use you as a compass as to what I don't want, which is why self-esteem is here. Like, you're confident in knowing that your dad is toxic. And I think your dad knows that. Like, your dad maybe knows that you perceive him as just somebody that wounded you, somebody that hurt you. Yeah, exactly. Clarify this. Bro, what am I saying? Regret. regret is coming out. That's what I was saying. As I just said that, I was like, your dad is like, I wish I would have been more kind to you. And then the next card on top of B is regret. With this being a community card, I'm going to be so honest here. The message that I'm getting is your dad, because he seeks external validation, in some way, your community loves you. Whether this is the same community as your dad, whether this is the rest of your family, your friends, your relationship, you are loved and you are cherished and you are seen by some type of community. And on top of that, with regret is your dad is like, this person doesn't want to be close to me anymore. Like my son or daughter doesn't want to be close to me anymore. And I'm regretting that because I could get validation from the fact that they are very loved and they are very cherished right now because I didn't choose to see their beauty. Now I don't get a piece of that. I don't get a piece of that. Like their mindset about it is like, this could give me validation, but it's a judgment call on the fact of, well, why are you not getting that validation right now? Because I did not show up, because I was too insecure, worry with elk nobility to reverse to show up confidently. So now they've chosen themselves and now they're shining and I don't get to benefit from that because I wasn't there. So regret is out here. And like regret is an energy that a lot of masculines, even if your consciousness is very low, you will feel that you regret something. But the consciousness perspective is, let me take action on proving to myself that I'm not that same person anymore. Or let me see, why do I regret it? Your dad's not asking why. Your dad is just saying, I do regret the fact that I can't be in their life anymore now and they're being seen by everybody. Like, I'm not going to take it any further than that, but I recognize that I do regret it. Because your dad doesn't take action without validation. Like, that's their energy. Like, if I'm not getting validated that, or if I'm not getting confidence that what I'm saying is going to get validated, then I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to take a chance of saying that I'm expressing my feelings because this is how I feel. I'm saying this because I know that you're going to validate me. Like, that's the perspective. And I just cut it to loneliness reverse. Like, your dad is very much codependent and you are not codependent, which I think is something that you are really heavily mirroring to your dad, is that you're choosing a life for yourself out of independence because you've chosen to give to yourself what your dad didn't give you. You are mirroring a lot of karma to your dad right now. Yeah, exactly. Your dad's energy is like, see, concerning the regret, their action towards is like, I'm going to accept the fact that this is the life that I chose and this is my purpose right now. Like, I'm supposed to be in a codependent relationship and just get false validation because this is the life that I have. And this, like, it's like they're trying to cope with the fact that your life is physically better from a space that they don't know how to get to that spot. And they're coping with that with a victim mentality. Like, well, like, I guess it just is what it is. That's what I'm saying, is like, you're manifesting a masculine that shows up for you because they want to, that shows up for you because they're confident. And your dad's energy is the opposite of that. Like, your dad's energy is like, well, courage reversed on the bottom. Like, I'm not getting your validation in the first place. So like, I'm not going to fight for your love because like, I just already don't feel good enough anyway. My life is what it is. It is what it is. Like, that type vibe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your dad is so certain about the fact that you've made up your mind. This feels like intimidation, if I'm being honest. Oh, I literally was like, this is a kind of a judgment call for your dad. Judgment on the bottom with growth reversed. That's what I'm saying. Growth reversed and then courage reversed. You're literally mirroring to your dad that he didn't have the courage to grow. Like, it's a literal judgment call that he didn't have the courage to grow emotionally, specifically emotionally, because mirroring sea otter and self-esteem is, you are like, you are not making me happy. You have hurt me. So I'm going to make myself happy. Whether you've taken space from your dad or like you've completely blocked out connection at all. This is mirroring tiger indecision reverse. I've made up my decision about the kind of partner that I want and the kind of masculine that I want, and you are not a good example of that. So I'm taking space. Like, and that's why I think the energy here is fox dog with like, I'm accepting my fate, because this maybe feels like a connection that if you have a relationship with your dad, it's very little. Like, I would not be surprised if you guys maybe talk like once a month, if that. Or you guys don't talk at all. So because it's such a painful wound of being abandoned by somebody that they now see very clearly, it's like, I could take action on that and say, maybe it's my fault. Maybe I can heal from it. Or I can choose to not take accountability and say, well, my life is the way it is and this is just how things panned out and it's not my fault. Like, that your dad is not taking accountability for how they treated you, but they do regret you not being in their life anymore. Like, such a that's what I mean. It's like, I observe the emotion, but I don't take it any deeper than that because they're emotionally unavailable. Okay, let me keep going here. Exactly. You are protecting how sweet your life is right now. You have created a life for yourself by being honest. Like I said, being honest about taking accountability. That's a huge thing here. I think your dad can see some ways that you've taken accountability in ways that they didn't. And your dad's belief is taking accountability is like, that's wounded. That's not masculine. That's weak. I'm not going to take accountability. So I'm going to protect my heart, right? Because if I take accountability, then I have to process my emotions. And I don't want to process my emotions. That's a waste of time. That's not going to do anything for me. There is an energy here of you being able to take accountability in certain situations. And that mirrors to your dad that they're not taking accountability. Again, with this growth here energy reversed, and that's why there is regret. I'm gonna be honest here, like this does feel like the karma that you're serving to your dad is the fact that they are emotionally unavailable, and it's kind of coming to the fact that they can't hide their sadness about you not being in their life anymore. Like on top of worry and elk nobility reverse, usually it's I'm anxious. I'm constantly anxious because I don't process my emotions, and I cope with that anxiety by going to work or by going to something physical. But with you, underneath elk nobility, as regret and the divine feminine card, it's being clarified by Alice in a Sea of Tears, cast away, out of depth, feeling abandoned. So something about seeing your life as you are now, or if you guys talked recently or they like were able to see you more clearly, seeing how far you've come without them and how much you've grown without them is kind of, that's the karma. It's like, I can't really run away from the fact that I am sad. I am sad about the fact that this person doesn't want to be in my life. I am sad that they don't think that I'm a good parent figure. I am sad about it. Am I going to do anything about that and reflect on those emotions? No, but I can't hide away from the fact that I am sad. And I think that's something they would repress and repress and repress and repress. But this feels like a recent shift where it's like, I'm sad about this. Like, this does hurt me. And then on top of raccoon is what I'm saying. This divine feminine card being clarified by a brother raccoon, a safe place for you to go. Number 4, I regret the fact that you do not perceive me as safe. I was not a safe place for you. Like, period. Point blank period. I was not a safe place for you. So what did you do? Like, this is so ironic to me. This card is number 4. This next card is about complete commitment, and it's 4-4. So obviously 8, but I think it's giving me the vibe that you couldn't make me feel safe, so I'm going to make myself feel double safe. So I'm going to double up on my masculine energy so I can be what you couldn't be. Like, that's what you're mirroring to your dad. Whether you've said that, whether you've communicated that, you are mirroring the energy to your dad of, I am showing up for myself in the way that you never showed up for me, with my actions, with my emotions, with my intention. And I don't need you to see that, but I do need you to see that I've created a really great life for myself because of the mirror of you and what I don't want and how I don't want someone to show up for me. So like it is mirroring a lot of, it's mirroring a lot to your dad. Yes. Oh my God. Holy. This is on the section where like a victim mentality, like whatever things, it is what it is. Life is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna reflect on if it's my fault or not. It's not my fault. Life just goes that way. Is Once Upon a Midnight Dream, creative genius, writing, expression, artistic flow. This is also number 4. Like, literally what you're mirroring to your dad is that he's not willing to go deeper. He's not willing to ask himself why. Clarify this, please. Because this is number 10 here. Yeah, you like rediscover your individuality. This is the same section here of what I'm talking. Your energy is like, I'm not going to settle for something right away. Your dad really sees this in you. Like, one of the biggest things that he sees is that he chose a codependent relationship. Like, he chose to not be independent. He chose to not explore the world. He chose to not like follow his heart out of confidence of independence. And he chose to be codependent, which brought him into like, I really feel like this is somebody that like they got married at like 20, 21, 22 type vibe, had a kid, like life started really fast, which is why obviously you as a child like had trauma, because your dad didn't choose to grow, you know, like his intention when creating a family wasn't from to grow. It was from like, I want something from this. Like, I want something to control. Like, I want something to make me feel confident. I want something to constantly validate me. So that's why like you had to break out of this. Sorry, my phone ran out of storage. But that's why you had to break out of this pattern, is because your dad chose a codependent cycle. And now, because of that energy, again, whether he can recognize why he chose that, he can recognize that she or he, my daughter or son, is choosing something that I one time in my life wanted to choose, but I did not choose it. So that's mirroring to them regret and guilt about the fact that, okay, I didn't choose it. I don't know that what I'm choosing is codependent. I don't know that what I'm choosing is wrong for me, but I do know that I at one time wanted that in my life, and that is crazy that my daughter or son is choosing that now for themselves when I didn't choose it, even though that was a literal thought in my mind. Like, there is a literal energy here of they're not choosing to like settle for a relationship. Like, your dad sees you as confident being alone. So like that's what I was immediately getting with like the relationship at the beginning, where if you are in a relationship, then they see that you have an independence in your relationship and it's not codependent. Maybe you still travel the world. Maybe you still allow yourself to be free in this relationship, and it's something that is completely different to the relationship that your dad is in. Or it's like an energy of they don't need a relationship at all. Like, they do not need it at all. And that is something that quite literally your dad was not strong enough to do. Pose brave flight. You will not let fear stop you this time. That's literally what I'm saying. Your dad is recognizing like you're fearless. Like, you're constantly improving. You're constantly going forward, which is, like I said, mirroring to them that the courage reverse, like judgment with growth reverse and courage reverse. Like, I was not strong enough to choose what you were choosing, which is why I now have regret about the fact that I can't be in your life. I cannot be in your life. Okay, I want to finish this off with the Mystic Martians. The 8s in here are freaking crazy. You literally look at this. Ebens, number 8. This card talks about like an infancy stage in your life. And then reptilians, also 17, number 8. This is the first section talking about the fact that this card always gives me inner child energy too. You're giving yourself something that as a child your dad was not able to give you, that he consciously knows. This is being clarified by Bison Abundance. So this is something like if you struggled with money growing up and your dad did not allow you guys to go on vacation, your dad didn't spend money on things that would have fun for you, your dad didn't spend money, or like money could have been a huge thing with reptilians, like survival. This is root chakra energy. This is like, I constantly am focusing on bills, money, and work. And that is my mindset. Bills, money, work, validation. Bills, money, work, validation. And your energy is like, I'm being honest with myself about how my childhood was and what I didn't get from my childhood. And I'm going to choose to give that to myself. That is something that your dad consciously sees, is you are choosing something for yourself that he did not give you because of some type of abundance or because of some type of survival mindset. I really feel like this has to do with like traveling or like a job, like something where money was like, we cannot use money for fun. We have to use money to survive. And your energy is like, that's not true. I'm going to use money to have fun because I deserve to have fun. Like, that's an energy here. So that's why it's like you're mirroring this King of Cups energy to your dad, because he's the King of Wands reverse, and it's like they're literally choosing to do something that I did not believe was possible, which is mirroring to them regret about the fact that they didn't give it to you as a child, because they're like, I didn't think that it was possible. How is it possible for them and it wasn't possible for me growing up? And then once they have that perspective, they go to the victim mentality. Well, it just is what it is. That's how my life was supposed to go. They feel so guilty, but they're just not willing to reflect on that. Clarifying that same section, Elk Nobility reverse, Earth reverse. Like, your dad consistently chose to show up for you in a physical way, only in a physical way. Like, I'm going to protect you by paying the bills. I'm going to protect you by buying groceries. I'm going to protect you by not spending money on foolish things. When really that was an illusion. It was a survival mindset. So like, obviously your dad's intention was not, which is why they like won't take accountability. Their intention was not to cause you trauma, but they didn't know how to use abundance or money from a space that wasn't out of security of who they are. And your energy is, you've worked so much to heal that wound. I would not be surprised that this collective right now, pile 2 that I'm talking to, are people that have worked through a huge lack mindset. Obviously, a lack mindset deals huge in every area of life, your relationship with your body, with food, with your work, but specifically money. You specifically could have worked through a huge lack mindset concerning money, feeling worthy of money, feeling worthy of abundance and your physical needs being met without you having to suffer. Like, that's his energies. I am choosing to believe. That's why your dad is seeing this, is because the energy you're showing up in is mirroring to him a lack of belief that he has, because you said, I'm going to choose to believe that that is not true. I'm going to choose to believe that life can be easy. Which is mirroring to your dad again, this same energy of, why is my life not easy? Because you didn't choose that for yourself. Yeah, on top of the toxic relationship literally is MIB, which literally talks about a toxic relationship. I'm accepting the fact that this is something that I've always had, and it is what it is. Clarifying again, Vesica Pisces reverse, which talks about an abandonment wound. There is such a big energy here. Like, your dad is sad. Like, I'm not saying that because, like, I don't want you to feel bad, because it is not your responsibility, but they are facing karma from the fact that, like, they suppress their emotions so much, and they deserve, just as much as a human deserves to feel happiness, a human deserves to feel sadness. They deserve to validate their sadness. They deserve to validate their anger. Like, they deserve to feel emotions. Humans deserve to feel emotions. They deserve to not feel so afraid of emotions. So there is something here about your heart, like, you living this life is cracking your dad's heart. Whether they choose to heal from that, whether they choose to grow from that, their heart is cracked, and there is sadness about you not being in their life. And that usually is how family generational curses are broken. When you choose to break a family generational curse, you are then opening up the opportunity for other family members to heal by seeing you grow, by choosing you grow, by energetically feeling that you are doing something different. But they have to choose it. So right now, that's the energy that's giving, is because you're mirroring this to your dad now, he now has the opportunity to reflect. But it doesn't seem like he's choosing to do that. But you are opening up that gateway because you chose to heal. You chose to break the cycle. And this is all about confidence. Confidence in play, confidence in unconditional love, confidence that life can be fun and joyful, like a flower, like a butterfly, like a sunset, like the ocean. Like, there is just a huge energy of, I'm changing my perspective of believing that life is hard and scary and disciplined and suffering, to life is fun, joyful, and bright and full of laughter. You chose to, like, that's such a big karmic energy mirroring to your dad, which is why there's regret here, because you are Pleiadians and your dad is King of Wands reverse. This is the most validating energy. This is an energy that my cup is constantly overflowing. So I'm kind to everybody. I'm kind to everybody, not because I want something, not because I need something, not because I want to be perceived as a good person, because it feels good for me to share the love that I am constantly pouring into myself. That, to a King of Wands reverse, is crack, which is why your dad has regret about the fact that they can't enjoy that now. They can't be in your life, and even if they do get to be in your life, they get a crumb of that crack. They get a crumb of it because you seem to be setting boundaries about the fact that you know energetically this is not equal, because you have healed your mindset of the pattern that your dad initially put you in of, please dad love me, please dad love me. And now you're like, no, I don't deserve to. I'm not going to beg for somebody's love. I'm not going to chase someone's love. I'm not going to mother somebody for love. I'm going to know that I deserve that love, and I'm going to give it to myself, and I'm going to therefore attract someone that gives it to me because they're choosing me, not because they want me to chase them. That was pile number 2. And that was this reading. I really, really, really hope this resonated for you guys. I truly hope that this was validating for you and shows you how far that you've come and how much work that you've done that does give them the opportunity to grow, whether they choose that or not. You have done your part. Enjoy the life that you've created. I am so proud of both of these piles. I'm so proud of you. This is beautiful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how it resonates for you. I love reading your guys' comments. And I'll see you in the next video.